was like, what's Appetite for Destruction? So I listened to that record and I was like, oh my God, this is great.
Welcome to the podcast, Appetite for Distortion, episode number 517. My name is Brando. Do I call you Brendo for today's purposes, Brendan? What should
Sure,
we
why
do?
not? I could be Brendo for today.
Have you ever
That's
been called?
actually what one of our producers calls me every so often. He'll call me. He'll be like, Brendo, what's up?
Right on. I
Yeah.
forget the name. It was a sitcom. I don't know, like 20 years ago. It sticks with me though. One of the actors was played a Brendan, and he was also on the radio and went by Brando. And I'm Brando, obviously. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
hard to figure out I'm from Brandon, but no, right on. I was this close to being a Braden, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, my mom likes to tell me that story every single year of my birthday, which is just wonderful that I was this close to being a Braden.
Does that mean that she lost the naming and that your father named you Brandon?
I think it's just my grandma because at the time Brandon was rare, and everyone's like, "What the hell are you guys talking about right away?" If you're familiar with the show, you know what I'm about. Uh, no, I think my grandma said I think it was like my grandma who lost out. They came up with Brandon, and she's like, "Oh, but what about Braden?" My mom was like, "Oh, I like that," but she had already sent in the paperwork. My whole life would have been
This
different.
close.
My
This
whole life
close to
would
being Braden,
appetite.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's appetite for distortion with Braden. No, I don't think so.
Well,
We can't.
Brado just doesn't have a ring to it. Brando
Exactly.
does.
Exactly. Brando, like Marlon. All right, enough already. So, Brendan, here from the Nocturnal Affair. I guess thanks for joining us today, Brendan Shane. We're gonna get into your band. You are doing a little UK. I don't want to say little. I'm kind of saying that facetiously. UK tour
No,
with when?
it's a little tour. It's just a week this
Oh,
time around, and
it's
then
a
we're
little.
over to the EU weeks.
Well, okay, sorry. Then you're over to the east as far as East Coast or where?
No, the EU, so
Oh,
mainland
the
Europe.
E. Oh, okay, okay. Sorry, we got to figure it out because you're from Vegas, but we'd be talking about the UK a little bit.
Originally, I'm from Boston, so East Coast, you would be, yeah.
So, are you looking at my hat with disgust right now?
No, you know what? It's a funny thing when you're in the East Coast and you're walking around the streets of Boston, you see somebody with a New York Yankee hat. We're gonna have some words. We're gonna break each other's balls. But in Nevada, right, or as my
Hmm.
East Coast family would call it, Nevada.
That's what
uh,
I say. Oh, so it's Nevada. So, okay.
Nevada, right? So I've learned how to blend in with these West Coasters very well. I grew up mostly out here, spent a lot of summers back east. But when you find an East Coaster, you like hang on to them because people out here are just fucking weird, man. They're flakes. They'll smile at you, and then when you turn around, they'll stab you in the back. But East
Okay.
Coasters, we kind of all we stick together out here. We have our own little thing. So
Right.
whether you're from
Right.
Pennsylvania, Jersey, New York, Mass, anywhere, Maine.
Right on. So we'll stick together here. I mean, I spent couple years in Massachusetts for my radio career in Cape Cod, but we're here now and we're talking about the UK to bring it back around. That it is a big deal though, because one of my former guests, Wednesday 13, you'll be playing opening with him,
Mhm.
opening for him, and also Drowning Pool. So that's a big, awesome tour. And I'm lucky that I have listeners in New York, Nevada, wherever, the UK. I just did an episode with one of my good listeners, Jason, about the review. We're doing a review of the Black Sabbath show of Ozzy's
Mm.
farewell. So actually, if you wouldn't mind, just we share a name, we share a coast, we must share a passion for Black Sabbath and Ozzy. Did you get a chance to watch a little bit of it?
I did, man. I did. It was surreal, honestly. It's you almost don't want to accept it because how many
Hmm.
times has Black Sabbath said farewell? How many times has Ozzy said farewell? You know what I mean? It's just like Kiss, like everybody else. This is our last tour, and then 5 years later, they're like, "We want to make more money." So, but this is it, man. It's wild. Nothing like having Lobo host the night, right?
Yeah, Lobo, Jason Momoa. Just see
Yeah,
him, my God, just see him mosh during Pantera. I'm like, just like that's
that
what a
was
cool
amazing.
guy. He just
Yeah.
seems like a cool guy to hang out with. He
It
says
was
like,
kind of surreal seeing Pantera, but obviously with Zach Wild,
hmm.
especially the history with Zach Wild and Ozzy. So it's like not only is he there to pay tribute to the guy that broke him into the scene, but he's paying tribute to Dime at the same time. It's just the threads tying it all in. Or wild.
I don't know why that didn't dawn on me that day. I'm like, because obviously, because I've seen Pantera with Zach, and I watched the entire show, and it didn't dawn on me. I'm like, yeah, he's there with. I mean, he was playing with Ozzy too, but didn't he was one of those players that played multiple, you know, like hats, made multiple like Joey Benanti with Anthrax and Pantera as well.
Yeah. Seeing
Nino
Ugly Kid
Betancourt playing with
Joe,
everybody,
vocalist
very
as
cool.
well, singing.
Say that again. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Ugly Kid Joe's vocalist as well, doing
Whitfield
stuff.
Crane.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention him in my review. Wow, what a
Is it true
man.
he used to do sound checks for Ozzy? Is that a real thing? Because he sounded so good. He sounded it, his Ozzy was very, very well done.
It was. It's if you know them just for, I hate everything about you, which is an amazing song. You
Yeah.
underestimate how great of a singer he is, and he showed
So
that. Those two things that you reminded me, I did a whole 2 hour review and it wasn't enough. See, that's why I needed to bring it up and out with you. So, how did we get to the Nocturnal Affair and you being such I'm assuming a lifelong rock fan? When did this project start and kind of take us back a little bit before we get to the current days?
you want the cliff notes or you want the long story?
Let's do Cliff Notes if you want, mind. We'll have you back on for the long story.
We started as a joke band. I wrote a song based upon a photo some friends of mine took on vacation. It looked very, very overly emotional, very it looked like it had a lot of feels to it. And I,
Hmm.
I I made an album cover out of it just as a joke, like, oh my God, you guys are in this band called The Feels. And then someone went, you should write a song for it. So I did in like an hour or two. And it launched into something bigger. And for a while, I was in a almost like a mock anonymous goth rock band called The Feels. I was a big fan of Ghost at the time. It was before Ghost really blew up. So I loved the whole anonymity thing. And our local station, 92.3, played us a little bit. House of Blues reached out for The Feels to play a show with some kind of Amazon event. And they had no idea that it was, I was in another metal band at the time. They were like, "Yo, we'd love to have you. It's a Duran Duran tribute night, and it's like Amazon's gonna be there. The place is sold out." And I was like, "Actually, it's me from this other band. And, I don't have a band. I wrote this, I delivered it. I kind of bullshitted my way into getting it on the radio just to see, and it would be funny." And the guy was like,
Wow.
"So you're gonna play this show, or I'm gonna tell the station that it's actually you." And so we played the show. We were bum rushed by the crowd afterwards because they wanted merchandise. They wanted to know who we are. It was just like, it was an amazing response. Um, and so that was my first inkling that maybe we had something. And then flash forward about a year later, my metal band that I was in at the time plays Pain in the Grass in Seattle. And we didn't play Pain in the Grass. I'm sorry. We played, what was it called? It was Hempfest or something, but weed
Okay.
was already made legal, so it was kind of a bust. Because I know Hempfest was around when they were trying to legalize it. So
Yeah, now
they
the
finally
war's won.
legalized it. Yeah, and so
You
someone
won.
reached out to us and they were like, "You're playing the famous Hempfest. It's huge every year." And we landed and we told people about it, and locals were like, "Yeah, it was huge when they wanted to legalize weed, but now that they've legalized it, nobody shows up to that party anymore." And we're like, so they're like, "You're playing on the coast. We're gonna hook you up with this." This metal band I was in, we played in front of 10 people in front of the water. And then we were like, "Yeah, fuck it, let's get out of here." Because we're produced by, I've been produced by the bass player for Disturbed for a hot minute now. And
Hmm.
we wanted to go support them at Pain in the Grass. They're playing with Breaking Benjamin, Anthrax. Our buddies in Gemini Syndrome were there. And so we go over there, we watch the show. Post show, in front of my metal band, my producer shows a few people from the industry the music, and they go, "You should really make something out of this." So that's kind of when it became something a little more real. And eventually, I changed the name to the Nocturnal Affair because there was 15 other bands named The Feels.
That's
So
that's kind
that's
of
still semi a
incredible.
long story. There's a little bit more to it. Apologies, but
No, 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 not at all. Not that I wanted just like bullet points, but I just didn't know. Do you want the long story? Well, if the long story meant an hour, I'm like, I want to talk about other things with you, Guns N' Roses and other stuff.
yeah,
But no, no, that's I like that story because it kind of says a lot about you. The talent when you're not trying. How many people try and can't do what you did, which is just Almost unfair, Brendan. I'm sorry. That's unfair for someone who has no musical talent. How dare you, sir, be so good? Uh,
It's what the theory still works to this day. I mean, I jokingly sent a song to management the other day that is a completely different genre than what we play. And I was like, here's something to laugh at. I got a hair across my ass and I wrote this song. And management goes, put some fucking electric guitars to this, idiot. It sounds good. And I was like, what? Like, I wasn't even serious when I did this. So, I think you should,
Crazy.
yeah, if you're not trying too hard, maybe that's the secret.
Well, I love Homer Simpson's advice is that trying is the first step towards failure. But I don't know. Maybe there is something there.
I mean, he says that with a crayon shoved up his nose, but it's
Yes,
okay.
that is. Yeah, you know what you're talking about. See, look at this. We're all both bald, glasses, beards, almost
Oh
same
yeah.
names. We're. I gotta ask my mom if she who she was with. And never mind, I was kidding. Go on. So did you not want to? So what was your goal? I guess when you were little, Brendan, did you want to be serious? Because it seemed like you almost didn't want to be serious about this
Oh, I did.
until it was like
I've
you
always
had to.
I've
Hmm.
always wanted to be a frontman, a singer, a musician. Um, my first concert ever was Little Richard,
Wow.
and it blew me away. Um, and then I also other various first concerts were a lot of like local bands and local artists that eventually kind of blew up out of Vegas. One of them being Frankie Perez. Um,
He's been on
he's
the show.
really
Yeah,
so he's
I love Frankie because he tried out. I mean, he's a great singer, but he tried out. He's a great Velvet Revolver story. How he was almost the singer.
yep. He also sang for Apocalyptica. He sang with Scars on
Mhm.
Broadway. I mean, I watched him probably when I was in the single digits. You know what I mean? 8, 9. My sister married into a family that grew up with him. So I literally have been watching him play
Mhm.
drums and sing with various other bands since I was a child.
Oh wow.
Um, so and I saw him singing when I was a child, and I went, "Yeah, man, I'm probably gonna do that. That looks good." That and when I saw Little Richard, I was like, "Yeah, like look, like I just saw him playing the piano and singing, and getting everybody just going crazy, and I was like, that's what I want to do to people." So yeah.
Wow. Where did you see Little Richard?
Okay, I've tried to lock this down because my mother took me when I was very young, and I believe he
Yeah.
played in Vegas a couple times, and its memory is funny. So I either saw him at Arizona Charlie's, which is a casino out here, or I saw him at Sam's Town. It was one of those two casino ballrooms. It was like one of those things in the very early 90s. Um, but I can't lock down which show it was.
But you have the
I asked my
memories
mother, and
still.
now she can't even remember. All I
That's
did was embarrass her. Well, when she took me, I would stand up between every song because I was just a kid.
How
And
old were you? Just out of curiosity.
dude, I mean, kindergarten, first grade, maybe.
Okay.
It
Because
was
I have a 2-year-old, so I'm excited for him to get into real music other than Baby Shark. So I'm just
yeah.
when that's gonna happen.
It was definitely after the movie Casper came out because
Okay.
he sang that. So I believe my mom had won tickets, and she was like, "We're gonna go see the Casper guy," and I was like, "Oh, I love that song."
I forgot about that.
Thinking that that's what he was known for, right? Not that he like inspired Elvis. He
The
inspired
architect of rock
David
and roll.
Bowie.
He's the guy
You know
from
what I mean?
Casper.
Like so, I we go and between every damn song, I'm standing on my chair screaming, "Play Casper! Where's the Casper song?" And
That's
there
so
was a
funny.
moment during the show where he tells all the big girls to get up on stage, that he loves the big ladies. Now, me thinking he's saying big girl as a child thinks, oh, like an adult, like a big woman, like an older woman. So he's like, come on, big girls, get up on stage. It's time to dance. We're doing our thing. He's playing this. And I look at my mom and I stand up and I go, Mom, that's you. You're a big girl. And I'm like grabbing her hand, trying to drag her to the stage. Like she never lets me forget that.
I can only imagine. That's brilliant, and then I love that again the path that set you on, and if you are just finding out about Brendan and the Nocturnal affair, and you're gonna go watch one of his videos, it now to have this kind of background because they're very well done. And I don't know, is it green screen stuff that you do, and you kind of look very superhero like? It's you put a lot of effort into the videos that you have up on YouTube.
We have a team that works extremely hard on that. It's really cutting edge technology that they're using. It's multi-camera for depth perception. It puts you in a whole new world. And some people think it's really cool. Other people think it's really cheesy. I think it's really fun. I think there's nothing wrong with cheese. I think there's nothing wrong with not taking yourself too seriously because that's how
Mm.
this band fucking started. I didn't take my dude, I literally was wearing this band when it very first started. I wore a black stringy wig. I had a little half mask on and I'd wear a hood, but I would have a short sleeve shirt with the hood. Like that's so ridiculous. And I'd wear these big round Aussie glasses. And I got this band into a major, there was this there, a music festival out here called the Extreme Thing. And I want to say it was 2014, 2015, before this was even a band, just when I was making joke goth music because I was inspired by Sisters of Mercy and throwing it
Mm.
up on the internet. And I dressed one of my best friends in a full suit. I wore the ridiculous outfit, fishnets, painted fingers, everything. And I talked us into playing the main stage at Extreme Thing. We never did it because I didn't have a band. They called us on our shit, and I was like, I had to make up some excuse and cancel. But I literally went to this meetup for this, and it was supposed to be a battle of the bands. And I would like whisper into this guy's ear, and he'd go, "What my client is trying to say is this, and that." We somehow finagled it, got on the main stage, and then when fire got under my ass, I was like, "Okay, wait, we're not a real band yet. We have to pull out for some whatever bullshit reason." So I try not to take myself too seriously, and because I think that's when the fun stops.
Yeah, no, I think that's great advice. And if anything, watching to go back and tie everything together, and the Black Sabbath, the Ozzy farewell, is that rock is missing and the fun. So many
Yes.
people are taking it so seriously nowadays. People are watching it with a critical eye, and fan bases against each other for whatever reason, and or again taking it seriously for whatever silly reason. It's just it's music. It should be fun, and I like a lot of the because I was trying to pinpoint. I'm like, what do they sound like? But like straight up on your Facebook page, you nailed it with bands that were fun and theatrical, or are, I guess, like Nine Inch Nails are. But Gary Newman and him and Typo Negative, you sound like a baby of that foursome, if such a thing was physically possible. So your voice is very clean and but has that growl to it when necessary. And again, the production of the video, it's not boring. And I appreciate because there are people who will say it's cheesy. I don't like this. They want something serious, but you're aware of that, and like it's not for you then, and you're missing
People
out
would
on the
say
great
that,
music if
but
that's what
then
stops you.
people would say that, but I guarantee you, the moment somebody came up to them with like, "Yo, I've got all this equipment. I want to put you in front of a green screen. I want to make you look like a superhero or an action hero for like 2 seconds. Like, let's go have fun. Why don't you go like stand in a room with your friends, rock out to a song you wrote, and just like make a video about it." They would fucking do it in a heartbeat, man. It's a blast. And at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck what people think about it. So I had fun.
Nor should you, and it's obviously it's working out for you. So your latest single, "Cross Me Out," that you can check out on what the video that's on your website on YouTube. What's the latest? Obviously the before we pivot to GNR. So it's that big when you are leaving. Like when is it taking place? The whole Drowning Pool Wednesday 13
So
Nocturnal
we're
Affair
actually
tour.
we're actually using this tour to promote our upcoming single, What Is Love?
Okay.
We've been covering Hadaway's What Is Love on our last few tours. We've been closing the night with it. And we've noticed no matter where we go, no matter who doesn't know who the fuck we are, when we play that song, the entire place lights up. Everybody sings with us. Everybody parties. It really gets people warmed up for whoever we're opening up for, right? So it just like we had no choice but to do this. We were originally going to release a ballad, and we were like, "Nah, man, we've got like the song of the summer right here. People have asked us time and time again, please record your version of it. Record your version of it." So we did a video. We recorded a version of it. It drops this week. I believe
Okay.
either the 9th or the 10th.
Okay.
And then we're going to tour on it. We're going to go to the UK with Wednesday 13 for a week. And then after that, beginning of August, we're jumping on with Drowning Pool. And we're going to
Nice.
mainland EU for the first time.
I love that, man. And now I can say it sounds so silly because I went to the UK once, but I went just recently. Was it last summer? Yeah, no, because my son was here. So I feel a kinship and just such a and again I have listeners over there and it's such a lot of wonderful places, great rock and metal fans, way better than here in America. It's just they crave it so much more. The audience is so are so much better. You must be chomping at the bit, even though you play Vegas and things like that. So I don't know, you must be
Well,
excited,
so it's I've said this to somebody before. The UK has this feel to it, and I'm originally from New England,
right?
right? And while you're growing up, you're in New England, you're walking around, you just you call it New England. It's like calling, New York, New York, or calling, Las Vegas is Las Vegas. It's just this what you call the area of our country. Um, but then you actually go to England, right? You actually go to the UK. And the moment I landed, I was like, this feels like Boston. This feels like New England. Oh, I get it. So this is England. That's new. What, like, of course, that's what they did, but like, it doesn't hit you until you get off the plane and you go, this looks like home, except
Yeah,
people are driving on the different side of the road. And immediately that was my first impression. So it felt like I was just coming home when I was landing for the first time.
that's
And
nice.
I've made such good friends over there. When we played over, it didn't feel like we were making fans. It felt like we were making friends. We were building a community. I mean, we were so lucky to be playing with the Chris Barris band because his network of fans are also all friends. They're a big family and they have this big Facebook group and they're all super supportive and they're super supportive of upcoming music that they like and they happen to like us. So they started their own Facebook community for Nocturnal and they're always updating it. They're always shouting us out. They're always just like, and every time we go back, it's like I'm going home to family. They welcome us with open arms. They ask us if we need any food, if we need any, it's a great experience, man.
Good stuff. Oh, and I'd be remiss before I forget it because at the time we're recording this, I have not seen the video for the Hadaway cover. Are you doing the SNL thing, Chris Kattan head shake? Is that happening? I mean, that seems to
I
be.
cannot confirm or deny anything.
I will take that as an answer.
And it's not a
uh,
yes, but it's also
I,
not a no.
yeah, that's fine. Leave the mystery of it. That's hey, I prefer that over it now. Um,
The video is fun though. It's a
no
bit of a
doubt.
different approach to our other ones recently. And I think it's a refreshing approach, and it's just something that's why not kick off the summer with some fun?
I'm excited, and I wish I heard it before this interview. Sometimes I'm privy to things, sometimes I'm not, but I'm like everybody else. So like I'm just like everybody else who happened to work in radio, who loves Guns N' Roses and turned it into this passion project that I've been doing since they reunited. Just crazy, crazy to me, and get to interview pe cool people like you. So,
They're
as I
like
spoke to
Guns N'
you,
Roses is like Kevin Bacon, man. Somebody
yeah,
somehow is always connected to them.
exactly, the 6 degrees of GNR bacon. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
what's your? Do you have a connection? What's your fandom like with Guns N' Roses?
I mean, I've partied with DJ Ashba quite a lot. In fact, recently I saw him in the crew at the last concert ever of Counts Vamped last Saturday. Counts Vamped is a major rock club that was a staple in Las Vegas for many, many, many years. People would like equate it to the whiskey of Las Vegas. In fact, I mean, it was a very beautiful thing, and unfortunately, they had to close down. They sold it, but I ran into DJ Ashba. I mean, dude, I have so many connections to Guns N' Roses that aren't even Guns N' Roses as far as like what's inspired me as a musician. But I mean, I was listening to Night Train while I was getting ready today. You know what I mean? I was listening to that whole thing. Like as soon as, I was told that we were gonna have a conversation today, I wanted to listen to Guns N' Roses. And I can't tell you, it's been a while since I have, because when I'm in songwriting mode, I try not to listen to bands that are overly influential to me.
Mhm.
So I can't listen to like Nine Inch Nails. I can't listen to like Radiohead or Slipknot or anything like that because I love those bands so much that I'll just start writing music that sounds like them. Like,
Mhm.
and what really gets me is the Queen of the Damned soundtrack. That soundtrack will never get old to me. And Jonathan Davis knocked it out of the park with that and with Black Labyrinth, which apparently is like the unofficial sophomore album for the Queen of the Damned soundtrack. I don't know if
Okay,
you knew that.
I did not. I was not aware of that.
A lot of those songs on Black Labyrinth are tracks that he wrote while he was writing the Queen of the Damned record and never finished.
Okay.
If you've listened to Black Labyrinth, it has that similar just sound, haunting sound that it does. Anyway, not to suck his egotistical side too much.
No, I mean I'm a huge
But
fan of Corn, and Jonathan Davis is like would be a bucket list interview. I don't
isn't
know
it?
if
He's so
I would.
talented.
He
He
seems so
just doesn't do
nice.
anything. It's crazy.
I've had Brian Head Welch on the show and his daughter talking about sobriety and stuff, but no, just Jonathan Davis, yeah, man. I don't know if if
And
I would ever get
he's
that
like one of the
Ashba on
coolest
though.
dudes you could ever meet. Like I know I said not to suck his ego off too much, but he doesn't have one. He's so chill. It's just like one of the coolest guys I've ever met.
He did one of the those video tributes to Ozzy. If you were watching on the screen, it would have been cool to see Corn there, certainly. But
Yeah.
no, it was nice to see that. And ever try Ashbro water? By the way, I'm just out of curiosity. Ever have one of his Ashbro water when that was around?
No, we
You
just
know what I'm talking about?
drink a
He
lot
had
of alcohol.
oh, because he had that brand of Ashbro water. Sometimes I guess I can't help it now. Every time I think of DJ Ashbro, I just
I
think of that he
feel
sold
so
water.
I feel terrible because I've been at his compound multiple times for like his birthday and for various other things. And I mean, it's a lot of the time spent in the line for the open bar with various other friends, making contacts and just like drinking way too much red wine with Sebastian Bach and like Ashba's just he's parties, man. He knows how to throw a party. It's awesome. But let me think of other. I actually, so I'll tell you how I really started listening to Guns N' Roses.
Okay.
Obviously, if you grew up in America from the time that they started until now, it's hard to miss them. Their music is licensed and everything, whether it's video games, television, movies, etc. So you're gonna hear "Welcome to the Jungle." You're gonna hear various other stuff. "Sweet Child of Mine," of course.
Yep.
Especially if it's an Adam Sandler film. I've noticed
Oh yeah.
Guns N'
Yeah,
Roses and Adam Sandler films.
for
Um,
sure.
but what really kind of made me look into them deeper was Five Finger Death Punch's first record.
Hmm.
So Five Finger dropped Way of the Fist. Well, it was two records actually. It was Five Finger Death Punch's first record, and it was because you open up the CD case, and if you look, there's a cross, and it's skull caricatures of every member of Five Finger Death Punch,
Okay.
which sounds a little
I
familiar.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Let me see if I could let me see if I could pull it up. Five Finger Death Punch.
Because well, I know it's in the world of rock and roll. I follow too much blabbermouth and stuff. Some people might have conflicting opinions on them. I have no problem with them. I like their covers, great cover of Bad Company and great covers of songs. Okay, yeah, I see you're showing it now. Yeah, though
Totally.
reminiscent of I could say that
So
the
somebody,
appetite.
well, yeah, somebody was like, "That's Appetite for Destruction," and I went, "What?" And then I was like, "Oh, well, they're very clearly fans." And when I listened to this record, it had to be '07, so I was like '08. I was fresh out of high school as a kid. Five
Okay.
Finger had just dropped, and I was following Ivan's stuff from like originally Motograder to Ghost Machine to this. I was like, "What's Appetite for Destruction?" So I listened to that record, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is great." And in my mind, I go, "This sounds just like the City of Evil record by Avenged Sevenfold,"
Hmm. Yeah.
which someone was like, "Actually, City of Evil sounds like this." And so that kind of just like these bands are what opened my eyes to Guns N' Roses, just based upon the generational differences. And
I
also,
love that. That's what we talk about here, and that's
yeah,
why it's the path of Ozzy posted a picture of him and Axel. And it's the first time they met. I had no idea. And like we're
that's the
seeing
first time they met ever.
the first time they met ever. Can you believe it? It's I you could say that Ozzy forgot, but no, Axel said the same thing too. Axel would remember that. So when you go to like Guns N' Roses, who were influenced by a Black Sabbath, and my age, I had to go back because I was more of like the Ozzy solo stuff. That was my era. But now I love hearing, the influence of Avenged Sevenfold and Five Finger Death Punch going back to Guns N' Roses. And that'll take you back to Black Sabbath. And that'll take you somewhere in there is Little Richard. I don't know. I was going to try to find like a connection with Black
Well,
Sabbath, Little
not
Richard,
even
but he's
just that.
somewhere in there. He's the architect of it all.
Not even just that. It's Nine Inch Nails, one of my favorite bands in the world. One of their drummers was literally the drummer for Guns N' Roses,
Yeah, I've not. What's his not
Josh
Verena.
Freese.
No, I've had Freeze. on the pod. Very awesome dude. Awesome dude.
He
I
played
can't
with them
believe
for a short period of time, and it was
2 years before he didn't never tour with them. He wrote the music for Chinese Democracy, the title track.
and his drumming is some of my favorite in the realm of Nine Inch Nails.
What do you think about since you're such a fan? I don't know. Now I think the reason why I'm doing it, I'm thinking out loud, because I still, even though I've been doing this podcast for a while, I'm getting new listeners all the time, and people ask me, "Have you interviewed so and so or so and so?" So that's why I name drop. I'm not trying to like be cool.
No,
Uh,
dude, name drop doesn't bother me. That's how we connect to each
It's
other.
not to you. This is the other people. I just don't want to be like one of those people. Even though I respect the hell and I wish I had the career of Eddie Trunk. I'm not going to be like some people or Stephen A. Smith. If you follow sports, hey, I have so and so on my phone and act like I'm friends with people. I don't want to be like that. So I'm just letting the world know. I needed to say it once. But Aaron North, are you? He was on the podcast too. Short-lived touring member of Nine Inch Nails. He was such a
Really?
yeah, apparently a rare interview. I don't know. I forget how I even made it happen, but
Oh,
lucky.
that's
So
awesome.
you see, it's all connected, all through rock and
Yeah.
roll. This has just been a
Very
great.
small world. It's a very small world.
If we love loud guitars, man, we can make it a small world and all feel connected. Somewhere there's a Hallmark card in there. Oh, Brendan, it really has been a pleasure getting to meet you and talk to you. Obviously, we're friends, and if we live closer, I can see it. We somewhat you're bigger than me, but we basically look alike. It's true. I mean, like, it's glasses, beard. You have no tattoos, but
I have one. I have this bear tattoo.
okay.
Yeah, I'm
Is
looking
that
for some more. I want some more. I really enjoy that traditional style, but
is that for the Bears, the Bruins, or no?
no, it's a whole nother thing. It's a bit of a personal
Okay,
story, but it's okay.
we'll
Um,
we'll save it.
yeah, it's for another time. But I'm hoping to get more. It's just every time I get money, I spend it on my career. So that's why I don't have any tattoos. All of my other friends have like their arms are full of it. They're all like chefs and doctors and lawyers and they're covered. And I'm like, I bought this new microphone the other day. I got a guitar.
Money well spent. Invest in yourself. Just for the longest time, I used to joke I get tattoos to cover up my lack of muscle. So,
You're gonna have to come hit the gym with me, man. So
I, my 2-year-old to work out. That's enough.
nice.
So follow. You're all over social media. The Nocturnal Affair. Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, TikTok, Spotify. That's the
Yep.
best way to keep up to date with everything that you have going on and show
Everything.
dates.
We've got a pretty awesome guy running our website too. He really is just up to on point with updating everything. And I'm not talking about myself because I don't know how to work the damn thing.
Huh.
I'm not tooting my own horn here. We really do have a great guy that takes care of our website. So our website, nocturnalaffair.com. Instagram is always really good. As far as Meta and Facebook goes, I think that's kind of just for old people, right? I'm kidding. I use Facebook a lot. I use it a lot. So
Is,
uh,
is is 41 old? I love the Facebook.
you're not 41.
I am 41.
You look younger than me. I'm 34.
Nice.
That's
I
wild.
I
What's
know.
your
I'm
secret? You got a
not a
kid.
lot of manual labor. I don't know, man. Maybe if I shaved, I would look older, but take all my glasses. Do you see do I look older?
Yeah, man. I'm 34 going on 45. So
I was trying to pick that up with certain things that you were saying about bands that you saw for the first time, and but so I'm glad we got it out of the way. Facebook, hey, Meta pays me. I get some coin now for posting, stuff for all these on this day and Guns N' Roses facts and everything, all the
yeah,
work and the videos they put into it. Zuckerberg is
they
giving
pay
me
you.
some money, so
Well, that's good.
yeah.
It's I can't say posting anything on Facebook for if you tag a website that's outside of Meta, if you do anything outside of it, they just hide it from all of your followers. It drives me crazy.
Yeah, it's
Even
very hard. That's why a
thing
lot of
like link in the comments. You put that in your post now, it's gone.
It's very annoying. No, it is very annoying. It's challenging, but it's not my main source of income. That's not why I started it. Like just like you, did
Yep.
it for fun. Didn't
Just for
expect
fun
this to
views.
be a serious thing. Talking about Guns N' Roses, getting to interview rock stars across the world, members of the Doors or Iron Maiden,
That's awesome.
Guns N' Roses. I mean, how
Yeah.
is that possible? It's what. It's what keeps me young, Brendan. That's
And
what gets me.
I love all the stuff in the background. I love all the posters and
Thank you.
especially the cat photo. Love that one right there. That's
RIP to my cats. So
oh,
when I started this, um, yeah, we had three elder cats. One was my wife's. That's GB, this one. And if you're listening to this on just regular podcast platform, going back to Facebook, she saw these ads on Facebook, which by the way will probably pop up now that I'm talking about it because
I
this
got
is
to cover my phone up. Oh my God.
I
All right.
for
Good.
real. It shows like your cat or a picture. So a loved one in like an old Renaissance painting. So I have my cat GB in some looking very dapper in a bow tie
Timeless.
and a suit,
Absolutely timeless.
and then Blackie and Mr. Big
I
looking like
love it.
generals in an army. And then I got my son Harrison Rex, aka Baby Brownstone, looking like Captain Morgan over there.
Fantastic.
So
Fantastic.
yeah, I mean, I just started out again as just a regular podcast, just audio only, and then COVID being forced, everyone's doing video now, building this behind me. My son joins me sometimes, so sorry you didn't get to meet him. Maybe next time, Brendan, because I
Next
hope we get to do
time.
this
Next
again.
time I'll tell you the story behind the name.
I love it. So that does it for this episode of Appetite for Distortion. When will you see the next one? In the words of Axl Rose concerning Chinese democracy, I don't know if soon is the word, but you'll see it.
Thanks to the lame ass security, I'm going home.